On February 29, 2072, our nation as we knew it was irrevocably altered. It all began deep in the Great Victoria Desert, where a catastrophic radiation event triggered an apocalyptic chain reaction. The fallout didn't just scratch the earth, it transformed humans into zombies, plunging society into chaos. This day, now known as the fracture, marks the moment the world split apart, socially, politically, and physically, as civilization began to crumble. By 2079, the remnants of humanity have sought refuge behind Defender's Ring, a towering 8-meter steel barrier surrounding what was once Melbourne. For years, it has been our last line of defense against the relentless hordes outside, as the infected are beginning to breach the outer suburbs of Melbourne. This inspired our cast and crew to band together and create Wasteland Wonders, a show dedicated to helping fellow survivors not just survive, but thrive in this harsh new world. Good morning, one and all, and welcome back to Wasteland Wonders. To all you survivors, my name is Sabrina Tan, and today we are here to help you thrive and survive. In this week's episode, we are going to cover two key elements of surviving in the apocalypse: some zombie-proof exercises and a crash course in zombie communication. Trust me, folks, the difference between becoming a meal deal and making it out alive takes more than just luck. Well, how are we all feeling right now, though? Excellent. Well, in today's news, death rates have seen a spike, rising in 77%. Zombies have officially taken over various suburbs across the Melbourne area, including North Melbourne and Carlton. Melbourne CBD is expected to fall within 24 hours. Better watch out, folks. Well, zombies continue to dominate Australia-wide as the remaining cities of Perth, Queensland, and Brisbane have now been overrun, with only Sydney and Melbourne left standing. Honestly, between the spiders and snakes here in Australia, zombies are just another thing trying to kill us. In international news, zombies continue to dominate the global landscape as major cities across the world have been infiltrated by the hordes of zombies. In just a matter of 72 hours, New York City has been entirely overrun. The sheer volume of the undead has overwhelmed many containment measures. From Times Square to Wall Street, the city that never sleeps has become the city that never stops screaming. Liberty Island is now being used as a haven for any remaining survivors. On the bright side, the rent has dropped. Across the Atlantic, streets of London have taken over. Buckingham Palace has gone dark with no news on the royal family. The London Underground has become a literal death trap as zombies are moving faster than the trains ever did, dragging citizens into the dark. The London Eye continues to spin with drooling zombies going around in circles. It has become a rotating display of horror. Hong Kong, the once shining financial hub of Asia, has become a giant zombie buffet. The dense city streets are now filled with the undead, shuffling through alleyways looking for humans to snack on. Victoria Harbour is now locked with abandoned yachts and boats. Those who tried to escape by water found out by a particularly gruesome way that yes, zombies can swim or just float. With New York, London, and Hong Kong already gone, the apocalypse shows no signs of slowing down. Reports are flooding in from Tokyo, where the infection continues to spread through the city. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower is still standing, for now, as survivors continue to seek refuge inside. Panic has taken hold and the streets are emptying as citizens prepare for the inevitable. The city's romance has vanished, replaced by silence broken by only the distant moans of the undead. With Tokyo and Paris being targeted next, the world's major cities are falling, one by one. The clock is ticking. In this dark new world, hope is a luxury few can afford. Survival is the only game left to play. Yes, very sad indeed. And before we begin with today's program, a quick word from our sponsor.
At Grimscaped, we believe just because you're on the verge of death or already dead doesn't mean you have to look like it. Let's face it, gents, life is short, and for some of you, well, it's already over. But that is no excuse to go out looking like you've been dragged out of a crypt. Do you really think Satan is going to give you a free pass because your nether regions resemble a haunted forest? I don't think so. With Grimscaped, you can shave off those final days of neglect and suffering. We even offer a special add-on, the coffin spray. Keeps your downstairs as fresh as a funeral flower arrangement, because nothing says rest in peace like a clean set of bones. And for those of you still clinging to life, don't think this is just for the recently deceased. No. Whether you've got years left or minutes, Grimscaped will keep your body hair in check long enough for your zombie devourers to really appreciate that attention to detail. So when death comes knocking, make sure you're ready to answer, groomed, clean, and smelling like anything but a rotting corpse. Order now, and we'll throw in the Necro Nose Trimmer for those pesky post-mortem hairs that even decay can't stop. Dial 44343 Grimscape and use the code Wasteland to get 23% off your first order with a purchase of over $50.
We here at Wasteland Wonders will help you viewers get through this trying time, starting with the basics. Apocalypse Fitness. Jack and Tyson have meticulously curated a list of essential exercises to help us keep in tip-top shape. Over to you, Tyson and Jack.
Hello viewers, and welcome to End of Days Endurance, the show where we teach you how to stay fit during the apocalypse. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tyson. And in today's episode, we'll be showing you 3 simple workouts to help you stay fit during these trying times.
Now, before we get into that, it's important to stretch.
Yes, even in the apocalypse, stretching before a workout is mandatory.
In the absence of a roller, there are a multitude of simple exercises you can do that can get you loosened up. Alright, so we're going to start with hamstring stretches. So you're going to stick your leg out, lift your toe, and then just pull through. You're going to keep doing that, and then we'll switch to the other leg quickly. Give that a good stretch. Next, we're going to be doing quad stretches. So you're going to lift your back leg up. You're going to pull it through. And you're just going to get a nice, good stretch going. You're going to switch to the other leg. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to be stretching out your shoulder and your back. So you can get your arm, and you're just going to get a good rotation in there. You know, next we're going to be doing leg kicks to stretch out our hips. So, Tyson, you're going to put your arm up there, and then we're just going to swing. Get real limber, guys. All right, we'll switch sides. Perfect. Remember, if you're not stretching, you're gonna die out there. The last thing you want is to be cramping up while a zombie's chasing you.
Exactly. That's why, to loosen up pre-workout, I've chosen a roller.
Now, if you don't have a roller, don't worry. Most people don't. You can use a log or an oil drum or something similar.
Basically, anything cylindrical will get the job done. Okay, now that we're all warmed up, it's time to get into the first workout, percentage sprints.
Now, this simple yet effective exercise involves sprinting 25 meters at a varying level of work rates and then jogging back to the starting point.
I recommend starting off slow at 50% and then going up in increments of 10% until you reach 100%.
All right, before we get started with the sprinting, remember to take off any extra layers so you don't overheat.
Now, we'll start at 50% and then increase by 10%. Let's get started. Alright, now 60%. Now, 100%.
This workout helps you build explosive power and endurance, both of which are very important for apocalypse survival.
Just say you're being chased by zombies.
Or worse still, opposing survivors looking to get your resources.
This exercise will help you outsprint and outlast your foes, whoever they may be.
An extra tip for those who are looking for a more challenging version of this exercise. Increase the length by 25 meters to work on your long distance running.
Now for workout number 2, the calisthenics challenge.
This workout involves a number of simple bodyweight exercises that help build strength and muscle.
Start with 10 push-ups followed by a 30-second rest.
Once the 30 seconds is up, do 10 burpees.
Again, take a 30-second rest and finish with a 2-minute plank.
Doing this daily and slowly increasing both the time and reps for each exercise will lead to an increase in strength.
This will be especially helpful during zombie combat.
Things like holding a door shut as multiple zombies are trying to push it open become much easier after consistently doing this exercise.
For the calisthenics challenge, you're going to start off with 10 push-ups followed by a 30-second break. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
On to the 10 burpees. You ready, Tyson?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Woo.
And finally, the 2-minute plank. Ready, Jack?
Let's do it.
Let's go. That's it for the calisthenic challenge. Now into the final exercise, chin-ups.
This exercise can be done anywhere at any time.
Just find a horizontal tree branch like this and place your hands shoulder width apart along the branch.
Pull yourself up so that your chin clears the branch.
And then slowly control yourself back down to the starting position.
This exercise is especially helpful for evading zombies.
Especially when you have to climb up trees or buildings in order to make your escape.
Exactly. Now, for a final treat, you can combine all 3 exercises into what I like to call the zombie gauntlet.
Start by finding a nice chin-up bar tree. This is where you'll start the exercise.
From the tree, begin running your sprints. After running the 25 meters, do 5 burpees and then jog back to the tree.
From there, do 3 chin-ups before starting the exercise again, increasing the sprint intensity. All right, guys, now we're going to demonstrate the zombie gauntlet challenge. Let's go.
However, this exercise is only after you've mastered all 3 of the individual ones,
This is because bad form can lead to muscle soreness.
and a significant lack of progress.
And a final message is don't overdo it. Last thing you want is for your arms and legs to be like jelly when a zombie attacks. Speaking of which, we better run. Back to you at the studio.
Now, I would like to invite gym enthusiast and zombie bite survivor, Finn Brewer. Thank you so much for joining us, Finn.
Not a problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. But hey, what's the best cardio routine to outrun zombies? Sprints, marathons, or just screaming while running?
Honestly, I think sprints are the main priority, right? Zombies don't really take breaks, so trying to conserve energy for a marathon, it's not your go-to. Bit of screaming, keep it fun as well. But yeah, honestly, just keeping it going and just go as fast as you can. Run like you're running from your boss after you sent that sketchy email and hit reply all,
That's amazing. I would definitely be doing that. And if one doesn't stretch properly before running from zombies, would you say they're more likely to die from cramps or an actual bite?
Yeah, look, cramps, they're a big problem, right? Zombie bites, they're a bigger problem. But honestly, right, like getting a cramp while running, it's not good. It's like putting a free buffet sign on your forehead, right? Those zombies, they're coming after you. So, taking 5 seconds while that door's falling down just to stretch before you put it into a full-on sprint, like that's the best thing you can do.
What would you say is the best post-apocalypse snack to keep energy up?
I do feel like peanut butter. It's a good one. Got long shelf life, right? And it doesn't hurt. You can slap it on anything. You can spoon it. You could use it to fill up a leak if you need to, if you're in a real dire situation. So it's good to have on hand. Got high protein, and it's going to last you a long while. It's good, but there's also tuna as well. Tuna's risky. Makes you feel like you can smell like a sushi restaurant to those zombies. So I do feel like, tuna's fine behind closed doors. Again, long shelf life, easy to store, real small, good snack.
Wow, so peanut butter and tuna at your discretion. But hey, should I be more focused on wearing lightweight gear, or is armor worth the extra weight if it keeps me from getting bitten?
Look, as long as it makes you feel comfortable, armor's fine, but I'd recommend keeping it light, right? The quicker you can run, the better, right? A slow pace isn't really going to help you out. So don't pack on the armor to the point where you can't outrun a drunken turtle, right? Like, that's not good. But yeah, just a little bit to prevent those bites, that's ideal, but yeah, keep it as light as possible.
Yeah, no drunken turtle. And do you think people should still go to the gym every day, or is once a week enough now that zombies are the main threat to humanity's survival?
Look, the gym, if you can find one, hit it as much as you can, right? It's best to go as much as you can, but I understand they're scarce. So really just getting in fitness anywhere you can, right? Just a periodic run, as far as you can go without putting yourself in danger, of course. But yeah, go as fast as you can and do as well as you can. We're in tough times here.
So, have you ever looted a gym?
Look, there was a time. The nearest gym, at my potential residence, it was a fair while away, so I thought it would be convenient, to get a cheeky treadmill and couple free weights in the hiding spot. I thought it was the best place possible, but this is only allegedly.
Allegedly, some cheeky treadmill. So, should we focus on cardio or heavy weightlifting?
Look, cardio is important, right? In our current circumstances, I do think that, being able to outpace a zombie is the best thing you can possibly do, right? Pretend like, you're late to your wedding and you're running from those outlaws the in-laws that you haven't seen in a fair while.
That's right.
I do think that cardio is important, but really getting that upper body strength is something you don't want to neglect, right? You don't want to be able to, you really want to be able to push down like a barricade behind the door. That is quite important, and if you can't do that, you might be in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, no pickle, never pickle. Well, thanks again, Finn, for sharing your wisdom. That paired with Tyson and Jack's workouts should be enough for all of us to keep fighting fit and beat this thing. Well, now it is time for a new segment hosted by our friend Ashley called Talking Dead. A show you will hopefully be able to become a bit more familiar with, so the enemy will result in their demise. Without further ado, take it away, Ashley.
Welcome to our new segment, The Talking Undead. I'm Ashley, your host, into the journey of the weird, wonderful, and often grotesque world of the undead. For the folks at home who've asked, can zombies communicate? And if so, can we learn to talk to them? As a matter of fact, yes. The undead dialect of zombie-ish does exist. And we're here today to teach you how to speak it. To help me with that, we have Rafferty. He has recently turned into a zombie. Don't worry though, he's a crawler. A slow, more docile sort of zombie. He's one of the friendly ones. While people talk to connect, zombies like Rafferty here talk to consume. I'd say that's more honest than most people I know. At least when you talk with a zombie, you know how it's going to end. So let's start with the groan. It's the bread and butter of zombie-ish. When you hear it, you feel it in your bones. Most likely because they're coming to break them. It's kind of like their way of saying, hi, I'm hungry and you look like a snack. It's easy, efficient, and economical. Up next we have the high-pitched scream. This one's a little more urgent. The zombies use it to signal to their herd that they found something tasty, like you or your grandma. It's essentially a dinner bell for zombies, but with a lot more dismemberment. Now if you hear this, you have three options. You can either run, hide, or if you're feeling lucky, you could try to blend in. I know, Rafferty. Blending in, as Tyson and Jack would say, it'd be far safer to zombie run! But if you're out of time and desperate, it might just work. And anyway, as I see it, life, whether you're alive or undead, is just a slow march towards death anyway. You might as well make it interesting. It's called the zombie impressionist technique. It's where you trick the zombies into thinking you're one of them by copying their behaviour. The zombies are attuned to using sounds and movements to differentiating themselves from other types of zombies and humans. For crawlers, if you employ their low groans and their slow shuffled walk, there's a chance they might just pass you by. It's like what my therapist at Dreaded Help says, become the thing you fear. First, you take a deep breath and then let out a low guttural groan, like you've lost all will to live. This is how the crawlers greet each other. Next, try to look like you've got a limp and are seconds away from falling apart. As you may have noticed, zombies like Rafferty don't walk normally. They drag their feet, like they've suffered a heartbreak worse than Rose losing Jack in Titanic. For faster moving zombies like Speedies, you'll need to pick up the pace of your shuffle. As you may have gathered, learning zombish is not the only way zombies communicate. They also communicate through body language. Although they lack brains, zombies can be quite observant. If you're afraid, they can sense that. If you're tense or fidgety, they will come straight towards you. So, it's important you keep your movements slow and deliberate while surrounded by walking corpses, even if you are moments away from having your face ripped off. Now, the trick here is consistency. If you break character by panicking or talking to a companion, they will realise that you are not one of them. And when that happens, it is game over. Which leads us to our next point, distraction. As zombies are attuned to listen for sounds and movement, they are very easily distracted by them. If the zombie impersonation technique has failed, throw a rock or knock over a trash can. Do anything to get them to look in the opposite direction. As Tyson once said, they're not the brightest of creatures. A loud noise can buy you precious time. Thank you for tuning in to The Talking Dead. Remember, zombies may be slow, but they are relentless. So be faster, sneakier, smarter, and if that doesn't work, well, I'm sure you'll make good zombie food. So goodbye for now, or as Rafferty would say,
Absolutely sensational. A true zombie expert. Who knew that they were communicating with those haunting growls? Maybe zombies aren't totally void of brains after all. I'll make sure to keep that in mind the next time I run into one. Well, folks, that concludes today's episode. But hey, don't worry. We'll be back for another episode next time, where we'll be uncovering how to fend off zombie hordes with some self-defense and possibly some breakdancing with special guest Gay Run. We hope you've had an educational time here at Wasteland Wonders. Remember, people, listen to those groans, run from screeches, and don't die. I'll see you all next time on Wasteland Wonders. I'm your host, Sabrina, and remember to thrive and survive.